up, you guys? It is Mary
and Amma,
and today we are reviewing The Bachelorettes.
Okay.
Yes, y'all have to forgive us. Like the internet is a little
Jinky.
wishy-washy, janky. Yes.
Here.
So we have been trying to upload it for like the past 2 or 3 days, like the other videos we have. So y'all have to please forgive us.
It's taking some time. It's not like we're not doing the videos, but it's just taking time for it to upload.
Yeah, like it takes a whole day
once
sometimes.
we figure it out,
yeah, because
we'll be getting them kind of like in bulk probably, but we're still, doing.
We're still trying to get, the internets together.
Yeah.
But yes, we are back with The Bachelorette.
Yes.
Today it is called Rejection Central.
Yeah.
Rachel went on a date with, I think, that guy Zach that kissed her on the steps. I thought the dates.
No, it's not the guy that kissed her on the steps.
No,
it's not. It's not. But this is Zach. But he's not the guy that kissed her on the steps. I can't remember his name, but it's not him. Because I remember he had like a chin.
Yeah.
It's not
and
him.
he wiped his lips.
He was the wiper lipper. Yeah. Anywho.
So she went on a date with this guy.
Which I think he was really feeling her. Until they met up with some celebrity
that she doesn't really know that well, but he's been a fan of her. But he has been a fan of hers.
Right.
And my thing is, the man was so damn loud. Like, even when he was not in frame, like, you could hear that, yeah!
I know. He was kind of like putting himself.
It's like he wanted to be front.
Himself in every scene with them.
And I just felt like it was too much. Like, that man's brain cells was dying. Every 5 seconds he was in the room with that man.
You can see that it was irritating
too much.
him.
It was irritating for me.
It was irritating Zach. Zach was not feeling him
and then
all.
Rachel kept on laughing. And the thing is, this is not a family member. This is some guy who you barely know, but he has been a fan of yours. Yeah. But he puts you in the most ugliest dress I have seen. Neon is not your color, Rachel.
He's some stylist person.
He can't be a stylist because a stylist would know that's not her color. That did not look good on her. Glitter and neon.
Yeah.
Like, I am a designer, and I would never put that on somebody, on her skin complexion. Like, that doesn't even look good on her. And then you put some fake white fur on her. Like, some fake cheap chinchilla.
To hide her assets, because she has these
She has beautiful, assets.
Like, bosom, and
you hide
covers that. Like, I don't
Why
understand.
would you put a chinchilla with a neon glitter dress?
I don't know.
Like, you made her look like shit.
Yeah.
Like, you probably wanted to be with him instead of one. He probably wanted the guy, so he made her look horrible.
I'm gonna hide all your assets that I don't have.
It was too much. It was too much. And then it was like, you're not even a family member. Like, why are you inserting yourself? Like, I could not even enjoy the dates. Yeah. The guy was so irritated.
She was giggling, I think, out of nervousness, too. Like,
I would,
And I think Zach was watching her, thinking probably to himself, what is so funny? And then probably looking at her and thinking to himself, maybe she's ditzier than I think. You know how, and I know it's a stereotype, blondes and ditzy, but maybe now he look at her like, maybe they are ditzy. And because you're laughing, I don't know, I think from nervousness, because also you don't know this guy, and he stay laughing. I don't know what he's laughing at, and then he's also very loud.
And it's not like he even knows you personally. Because if he did, he would never put you in that dress.
Even when he wasn't even on the frame shot, you could hear him.
I was just like, what is going on? Like, who is... Like, it would have been better if it was, like, a girlfriend. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Even if a girlfriend acted that way,
I'm sorry, we would never...
Nuts.
No, but I'm just saying, they should have had somebody who was close to her. Not some random stylist who doesn't know how to dress women there. Like, I never understand why women let men dress them. It doesn't make sense. Men who do not know what women need are dressing them.
I know.
And... coming from somebody who's in the fashion.
It's like a thing. It's like a thing now. That the men have to dress you.
There are more men fashion designers than there are women. And that's just how the fashion industry has always been.
A lot of the men are dressing the women, but we hardly see women
dressing men, or
even the men allowing women to dress them. What's up with that, women? Why can't we go for women designers? But this is the problem. You will hear women say stuff like, I get along with men more than I get along with women. We have to get to a place where we make it a point to actually get along with women. Yeah. Then we get along with men.
Facts. But we digress.
We do digress. That's a whole other video that we gotta talk about.
Yes.
Anything.
But the red carpet.
But yeah, so Yes, they did the red carpet.
Because you
my
said
God.
you peeped something. She peeped something.
What did I peep?
You
I can't
peeped
remember.
that he loved the limelight.
When they got to the red carpet,
He came to life, y'all. He came to
showed
life.
it. This man came to life.
It
All
was
of a sudden,
like,
he's
twirling her.
He's like twirling her. Did he even look as though he was trying to like get on one knee in front of her? Yeah,
Like,
he
it just
actually seemed like
he was soaking it up.
He was soaking it up, but I thought.
Red
And then
flag.
they went to the it was a red flag.
And then he died again.
Yeah, then they went for the video, and they're
he
showing
seemed-
her and
when they were a child and when he was a
and
child.
girl, it looked like she wasn't a natural blonde, y'all. Which I was like,
Which
really?
I knew, because the thing
Really?
is, to get those highlights, it's not something natural. Like, you don't, I mean, I'm not a white person, clearly, you know, but from what I have seen,
Okay.
you know, because I went to a school where it was
Well,
a
you
lot
have-
of mixed
you have
races.
white
I have a
friends,
lot of
so,
white
yeah.
friends. But you just, the natural highlights, like those highlights you get from a
Wow.
stylist, you know what I'm saying? And then her roots are actually like really dark. Like, if you look at her hair, it's like a dirty
Yeah,
blonde.
When she was younger, you see that she had like
Black
brown
hair.
Like,
Black
it was
or
like
brown
really
hair.
dark brown, right?
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, girl,
It's
I think she
beautiful
looks good
still.
as a blonde, honestly.
That's what I think she does.
I think it's a better color.
If I had not seen her pictures as a child,
Yeah.
I would have thought that she was a natural blonde,
Yeah.
right? Because it actually looks good on her skin tone.
Exactly. But he looked so uninterested. She
He
was
looked very
crying.
uninterested. He did.
He was
did.
no, she was crying when he reacted to his mom, but
well,
it wasn't even
yeah,
genuine.
She was smiling during her whole thing about her family.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it came to his mom was then they came to his showing his family, and his mom was talking to him. He started to tear up. She started to full blown cry, and then after that he just kind of went dead. Like just he didn't seem
interested.
into her
And then it's
at
like he
all.
was like, because she was
and
crying.
He really didn't seem interested in Rachel.
And then it was
But
like
for some reason,
But when it was all over,
yeah.
he said nothing, but he just starts kissing her, like making out with her.
Yeah, she asked
And
him something.
She had to ask him after the kiss, so what did you think? Because he
Yeah.
said nothing. Like, he said nothing.
Yeah.
Which
and
showed me that I just don't think
he
he's
had
interested.
nothing
He had nothing to say.
you.
Yeah, nothing to say about how cute you were, nothing.
Nothing. But
So-
he just looked, well, because she wasn't looking really good in that outfit. But he starts to kiss her, and then they go to dance, and she makes it more than what it is. Like, how could she not see that he wasn't into her? But yes, she's kissing him. Like, this is like the best thing of her life. Like, they're like two souls connecting, and I'm like, Rachel, really?
The issue is that she has not healed, so she will not be able to see a man who don't like her from a mile away. That's the issue. She has not healed.
Yeah.
Her and Gabby have not healed.
Yeah.
But I feel like Gabby had a little common sense. But we'll
Yeah.
talk about that at the end, because
Yeah.
we have 8 minutes now.
Huh.
But let's, y'all, listen. We have
can't
decided
make too long
we
a
can't.
video
We
because it's
can't.
hard to upload.
The thing is,
so.
we have that part 2 of the 90-day fiance that's been uploaded for 4 days. It's 30 minutes. So the thing is, we cannot go past 30 or 25 minutes,
Yeah, we
because
can.
then it'll take 3 days. So we're
Yes.
trying to keep everything to 15, 20 minutes. So forgive us.
Thank you, bud.
You know, but yes,
yeah,
so
so now
Gabby went
it's
to hang out
Gabby's
with the
turn.
guys, and they all made it a point to ignore her. You
Right.
know, because Rachel went on a date, and then Gabby went to go hang out with the guys, and they all made a point to ignore her. Even Nate never really
like
saw
what
her.
they did to Michelle.
Yeah, and then she left there.
And then she
Left there
She
crying.
just left, and she just felt really sad. She felt as though nobody really reached out to her.
Yeah, but then they had a group date. And I thought Nate was the best guy there. Like, he proposed, because they had to, like, do group photos or whatever. I mean, it was an okay date. It wasn't my top.
Was that when they went for the wedding dresses? They both were wearing wedding dresses?
Yes,
Was
yes.
that it?
And then
Yeah.
they had a group date with all the guys and
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
I don't, I mean, I guess it showed the personalities, but Rachel really didn't get into it. Gabby was getting into it, but the guys didn't really seem interested.
Except for Nate.
I thought
was
Nate came
really-
through.
The way he proposed to her was really nice.
And it was genuine.
It
Like,
was very
even
genuine.
Rachel was, like,
Kinda
tearing
peeping
up.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I thought Nate was a good guy.
I
He,
thought so,
Gabby was like, he goes out of his way to make me feel seen.
Yeah.
But then it became Rejection Central when...
Well, no, let's do Rachel's date. Gabby. Gabby had a date with Eric.
Who is gay?
Well, okay. We really think he's gay. We don't know, y'all. We don't know. However, this is what I
hope
feel.
y'all went back and saw the video where he was licking his lip and he was going,
Okay. Yeah, you guys tell us
Like,
you think that Eric
is gay.
All right.
Okay?
I
as far
don't
as I'm
agree.
concerned,
If you are gay, do not come on the show because
even if you are bi, don't come on the show.
It's just disingenuous because the women are there. They're not expected to have a gay partner. You know, don't come on this for some clout chasing.
Like, they did not say that they are
Anywho.
open to everything. There are women who are pansexual, whatever that means, and they're open to everything.
Yeah.
They did not state that.
They did not state that. And I just have a problem with that. It's deceitful. But if any of you who are out there know Eric, and you know that he's gay, please out him out. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we just think. We don't know for sure.
From the way he's looking at men and the way that he looked at Rachel in disgust as she was his competition.
Yeah.
That's
what we're thinking.
There's something off about that brother.
Yeah. But let's go back to the date. And I feel as though as the date went on, especially for the dinner.
I was shocked she chose him.
She really took the time. I wasn't surprised because they seemed to have some kind of connection.
Who?
Well, we know, we're looking at him and we're seeing, he looks at Gabby as a friend. That's how I felt. Like, just as a friend, not as an interest. But she's looking at him as an interest, and that's why she chose him. So
but that's why we know she's not healed, because she chose this fool.
Yeah. But at the date, right, she told him about, she talked more about her mom, how her mom didn't really love her, right? And then she got very emotional. She walked away
for like 15 minutes, which you would not do in real life.
And he was kind of like, what's going on?
He never got up. He was drinking his little drink, and he just sat there.
And then she comes back and talks a little bit about it. And he becomes moved. He really does. I think she kind of reached him. She reached him on a, whether he's gay or not, she reached him on a heart level.
Mom
right?
said that if he's not gay now, he's bi. Because he gonna try it out.
If he was gay, he now became bi because I think she moved him on a heart level. That was funny that I didn't want to say. But she moved on a heart level, I feel, right? And then she gets up and goes on his lap.
Like, she just goes and sits there, like...
And then she puts her head
like
on his whatever, and so he's like this. He's like this and kind of like don't know what to do. And so, but then he holds her like this, almost like a little baby, like how you will comfort a baby, right? And she kind of sobs and mews on his shoulder.
She did that because she was like, "Why aren't you giving me affection? Why aren't you holding me? I'm crying."
I just thought it was such a beautiful, poignant moment because she went and took her comfort from him, and he pulled on his heartstrings. So that's why I said if he was gay, he's bi now, because this woman has pulled on his heartstrings, and he's like, I might give this a shot because I am feeling her on this level, like, you know, maybe not on a sexual level, but on this emotional level, almost like a spiritual level. So, anywho, you all tell us what you think. I thought it was a beautiful moment, that moment right there. And she gave him the rose, of course. And then they decided now to have this, they didn't meet again. All of them met.
Yeah, because they all had a group date. That was a group date that we had discussed where they were in their wedding dresses and then they had the fake proposals and they were taking pictures.
But then they met again because the men decided to go and talk to Gabby and tell her that...
So this was on a group date. This was, you know, they have the little after party after the group date.
Yes.
And Rachel was kissing everybody.
Yes.
Which I thought was you don't do that as a woman. Like, you have to keep stuff to yourself. Like, your kissing, your lust, whatever touchy feel, you have to keep it as a woman if you want to get married. I just feel
to see if they're kissers, and Rachel is a kisser. She kisses well. It looks like.
Well, anyway,
but maybe she likes to kiss.
I just felt like, you know, it's not because I'm saying like, oh, you're about to get married, don't have sex. Right. Like, if you feel like you can handle it, which I don't think most women can.
It's not everyone.
It's not everyone who can do that, because the thing is, you kiss a guy, you start having feelings. Like, you just start having feelings. You start You can see a guy who looks at you a certain way, he stalks you, you start thinking about your whole entire life with that person.
Yeah.
As women, sometimes we do that. So imagine if you kiss him and there's chemistry. Yeah. Oh my God. But he could be a whole asshole.
He can be a whole
That's
asshole.
why I say don't do those
And because
things.
Rachel is actually a good kisser, she probably will evoke these emotions from herself. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that it is what it's not.
Like that guy who went on that movie dates, he was not really that interested. Like I know you say he was, but I just did not. I just didn't see anything.
I did not. Yeah.
I still have not seen one good guy for Rachel. Like that guy she sent home who was younger. I felt like that would have been a great match.
The car person, the driver, right?
But everybody else I've seen, I have not seen anybody who's a perfect match. Like for Gabby, I think Nate will be a great match.
I think so.
Even though he has a daughter, and I am against being with men with children. Yeah. But he seems like a good person.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So the men decided to tell Gabby. 3 men. I cannot even remember
the one with the blonde hair. There was another one. I don't know what his name was.
Anyway.
And then there was I think there was a black guy too. Was there?
I don't think it was only 3. No, it wasn't any black guy. So one of them was really nice about it. Just, I don't want to lead you on. I'm here for Rachel, right? And he gave her a hug, and that was fine.
I thought it was fake, though. He said, "Oh, you're the best." She said,
"No,
you're the best."
That was the one who told her about the morals. That was the one.
But that was the first one, though. He was not that nice.
Oh, okay.
He said, you're rough around the edges.
Yeah, I don't know which one, but I'm just saying, like, one was decent when he told her. I don't know.
I don't think any of them were decent.
No, one just said he was interested in Rachel.
Okay.
And he doesn't want to lead her on.
Okay.
He was interested in Rachel. He's here for Rachel. That's it. And she was like, okay. I don't know what order they came in.
Yes.
But there was one who said, as she was saying.
There was another one who Rachel ended up picking at the rose ceremony, who was an asshole, and said, when I looked at the group date, our morals and character, they don't line up. You're a little more rough around the edges, so, Rachel's more my type. So I'm going to be going with her.
That was so
she's
rude.
like, oh, okay, no problem. And as the rejections kept on coming, her whole mouth and her nose got like red.
I know.
Like she looked like started looking like a mess here, and then her hair was like all frazzled by the end of the night. Yeah. And then the blonde guy came in and said that, which I thought he was a nice match for her when I first saw him. But then he said, even if he was the only person on the show, I would self-eliminate.
That was a Tarzan guy. Yes.
I'm like,
yes. He was also an asshole.
That to somebody.
Yeah. Like, even if you were the only one, that's how much I don't want you.
I thought that was out of pocket and out of line.
And, from the beginning, even when he had the glasses and stuff, he was just, there was something about him that I wasn't really feeling. It didn't seem genuine. He didn't seem genuine to me.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about him.
So that was that.
She goes and she tells Rachel about this.
And she's like laughing. Well, not like laughing in her face, but she's like, "What? Oh my God! Like, do you want to go and like talk about it? Like,
do you want me to talk to them?" And she said no.
She's like, "No.
That's
like,
okay.
No. Like, don't worry about it."
She said, "But these guys so they decided
they're playing some little game,
right? They will in the rose ceremony. They decided the guys will choose who they want to be with."
Well, by giving them a rose. If you accept it, then you have to decide that you're going to date me and me only.
Yes.
That's what they said is going to happen.
If you don't accept it,
then
you go back in line. You go back in line.
Well, they didn't know that beforehand.
They didn't know that, right? So, anywho, at the rose ceremony,
I said this from the beginning. They should have separated from the very beginning.
Right.
So I'm happy that they did not waste too much time.
Exactly.
And they did this.
Yeah.
So I was very happy.
Yes.
But Rachel was like, I hope nobody rejects Gabby because I can only imagine like that. I've never been in her position, so I don't know how that feels. But I really hope nothing happens to her. Like she was so sure nobody was going to reject the blonde. Like she was so sure. And then but the thing is, it was losers. Like it was losers who had no shot in hell of being with Rachel.
Or Gabby, probably.
And they knew that they would not even make it to the final four. So it was just like the losers. Like these were like the losers that you would see in high school sit at the same table together.
Exactly.
So they
wanted to be the kind of person who I rejected
the hot girl.
I rejected the hot girl. Look at me, and I'm sure they were imagining the shows coming to them and saying, "Why did you reject Rachel?" And they will get some clouds that way. So, who was the first to reject her?
The black guy.
It was
Idiots,
a black guy.
Which I knew it.
I had not really.
Nobody even
been
knew
on the
this
radar
person.
of I had never even seen him. I never even
I
noticed.
didn't even know him. I was like, oh,
And
he's
he
a new
comes
cast
in.
member.
Yeah, and he comes in
And Rachel's like, will you accept this rose?
yes, and
And he's like, I don't want to be the first to reject the rose, but I'm
But
gonna have
you
to
really
reject
want to.
it.
Mhm.
Yes, but I'm gonna have to reject it because I'm here for Gabby. So Chris comes in and
And
like,
look, it looked like he was gonna walk over
to Gabby, like it was a sure thing. And
Chris came in. I don't even know what he's now.
I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah, but he comes in.
And
the
he's
host.
basically like, so this is how it works. So if you get rejected, if you have decided to reject the rose, you have to go and take your ass to back in line and see if Gabby will give you a rose.
But that's really what he was saying.
And his eyes got all red and yellow as he was like,
that man aged in front of us. He got bags under his eyes.
like he thought it was a sure thing. And then the Italian guy said, get your ass back over here. Like he could not help himself. Like he was like,
he didn't say get your ass, but the way he did that, that's really what he was trying to say. So the guy goes back on there, and then the host wasn't finished. He comes and says, "Oh, and Rachel, by
you
the
cannot
way."
give this out to anybody else."
So he goes and takes the rose away.
So it was 2 rejections in one.
Then, right, and then the other 2 losers came and also said they reject her. By this time, she's just looking.
And then she flips out in the back to Gabby. We just gave the power back to them. Like, what are we doing? And the Gabby said,
yeah, and it happened in public or something.
She's like, I mean, at least mine was private. Like, yours happened in public. That's really embarrassing.
I was like, that was too much. So they finally, I think because of her rejection, and Gabby wasn't rejected by anybody.
Yeah.
But I think because of her rejection, she wanted to make sure she had a sure thing for the last rose.
And she chose the guy
asshole
who was the meanest to Gabby, which I thought said a lot about Rachel.
Yes.
Because Gabby didn't choose any of the men who rejected her that day.
She
didn't. She made them all go home, and they all look like dumbasses.
The ones who rejected Rachel.
Yeah,
she
did not choose
sure
them.
All of them
went home.
She didn't choose them.
Yes,
and I thought that told a lot about her. Because why am I going to choose you when you rejected Rachel?
It told me a lot. It told me a lot more about her morals and her character.
Yeah,
more than Rachel's. Because Rachel sat there and chose the one who hurt Gabby the most.
Exactly.
And that's why I said in the beginning they're not friends. Well, Gabby will be a good friend to Rachel, but Rachel's not a good friend to her.
No, Rachel's
not at all. And I just thought that was horrible. Like you could have chose the guy who's the nicest to her, but you didn't. You chose the guy who was an asshole.
I think because she'd been rejected 3 times, we don't know how he feels. And really, she was rejected 6 times after the rose came and took the stuff. And you could see the men who had roses from her. You could see that their minds twirling like,
what's wrong with her?
I know what's wrong with Rachel, right? So that was hilarious. Anywho,
but yes, y'all, that was Rejection Central,
yes.
And we are Mary
and Alma,
and we invite you guys to like,
share,
subscribe,
and comment
down below your thoughts on this foolishness. And tell me, do you guys think Rachel's a real friend? Do you think Gabby's a real friend? Do you think there'll be another rejection on next week's episode? Y'all let us know when y'all tune in next week.
Yes.
Goodbye.